Most artists take some place, and like a flower, they sink their roots. My roots are in North Carolina. I paint what people did when I was a little boy. Romare Bearden. Charlotte, North Carolina, Mecklenburg County. Unlike other towns in the South under Reconstruction, it had flowered as an oasis of opportunity. Romare was born in the home of his great-grandparents, Henry and Rosa Kennedy, who owned several houses and a grocery store, prominent members of an emergent middle class. But it was an era coming to an end. Jim Crow was leveling that way of life and making way for another. To Romare, the harbingers of that change were the trains. Days in the rail yards he and his friends spent watching them come and go. I use the train as a symbol of the other civilization and its encroachment on the lives of blacks. The train was always something that could take you away. Romare Bearden. When he was just 3 years old, Bearden's family joined the exodus to the urban north in hope of regaining hard-won freedoms. His parents made a life in New York City, and he grew up amid the ferment of art, music, and culture that was the Harlem Renaissance. Yet each summer throughout his childhood meant a return for young Romare to stay with family in Mecklenburg County. Over time, the Charlotte he had known lived only in his memory, but what he retained was not elegiac nor sentimental. These were dynamic memories that continually surfaced in his art, granting mythic size to the characters he had known and the rituals that underlay that world. Everything was there. Church, celebration, menace, desire, beauty, tenacity, matriarchy, magic. On errands, Romare would daily pass the home of a widow named Maudel Sleet, whose vegetable garden was as small as its magical aura was vast. For him, she became mythic, like the oracular conjure woman of African lore. In painting the conjurer, I expressed my own feelings. All of these rituals that point to other forces are ways of looking at the world that we have now, for the most part, rejected. But they are forces that are still within us. The conjurer is part magic, while Mecklenburg is a recall of things that were most often pleasant to me. They both deal with myth and ritual, which, however different in their particulars, are universal to human experience. Romare Bearden. The South flows like a river delta over all Bearden's subjects, and he would be a conduit for its resonance throughout the culture at large. Eclectic as his art is in both form and content, from the blues and jazz in Harlem to Homer's Odyssey, this intimately peopled world would forever reappear, solemn, joyous, and abiding. Articulating such presence in the work of this 20th century master is just one facet of the mission of the Romare Bearden Foundation. Begun in 1990, at the provision he had made in his will 10 years before his death, the foundation is one of the oldest established by an African-American visual artist. Recently from its home in Midtown Manhattan, and thanks to the commitment of Nanette Bearden's family, its board of directors and staff, the foundation's vision has widened to a major canvas. In 2004, the Romare Bearden Homecoming Celebration galvanized New York City over the course of 7 months with a full roster of events, including readings, dance, exhibitions, and workshops citywide. For half a year, New York City was Bearden. The Foundation's Cinque Artists program seeks to assist artists at various stages of their careers by funding scholarships for younger artists and presenting artist development workshops in partnership with Parsons School of Design. On college and university campuses across America, the Bearden National Symposium Series advances critical new scholarship to assess and reassess Bearden's art and life. Pittsburgh in 2009 hosts the next symposium, Romare Bearden in the Public Realm. In 2003, the retrospective of Bearden's work at the National Gallery of Art in Washington was the first ever devoted to an African-American artist, a show that toured nationwide. From process to print, graphic works by Romare Bearden, featuring over 75 works, will tour nationally from late 2009 until 2011. As a resource, the Foundation's ongoing role is to preserve the artist's library, archives, and art. making them accessible to all. Exhibition catalogs and symposium-related publications are being produced, working toward the crowning goal of a catalogue raisonné to fully document Bearden's prodigious body of work. To empower this legacy and make the real difference Bearden stood for, the Foundation will need public and private support, the kind that helped make the completion of Romare Bearden in the classroom possible. This comprehensive new visual arts curriculum, the cornerstone of the Foundation's arts education initiative, has proven so successful in its debut at the Art Institute of Chicago that the materials are now going out to school districts and being presented nationwide through structured educators' workshops. Its dynamic content helps children of this and future generations come to know and be inspired by Bearden's art and to recognize the contributions of African American artists to American culture. Young artists, carried on the wings of spontaneity and enthusiasm, are often the innovators and heralds of new styles. But in the old age of the truly gifted artist, unique and wonderful things often occur. Secure in his space and structure, he is at one with the world that he was born into and that world of difficulties he has overcome, and can now be seen for what he truly represents.